Welcome to Unnecessary Roughness, presented by Twisted Tea. As we know, hard iced tea. Before we get into this, though, we do know the audio issues on the last episode were not good. We apologize. It will not happen again. This episode is fixed. Brandon just opened his Twisted Tea. So, again, we do apologize for that. It will not happen again, folks. It will not happen again. So, thank you for beering with us.
Well, I mean, it might. But
it might.
We believe we have fixed it.
We believe, but yes, but we know that what went
also,
on last episode is not happening this episode.
Can I explain something? Lukey Blutman, who is the producer now, de facto or full-time, I don't really know. Anyway, but Lukey is producing for us, and the issues that cropped up the other day were 100% in post-production. Whatever program he's using, it sounds good when we're doing it right here. It sounds perfect. He thinks I'm perfect, and then we do a show, and then we all go home, and then he gets it ready that night, and my mic doesn't sound good. So they think they've gone in, rewired, they went under the hood, they think they fixed everything. So hopefully it is fixed and ready, and Lukey did the best to get through the problem and then get it fixed. So shout out to him.
Yeah, it wasn't a people problem.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, no, it was definitely not. So thank you to everybody behind the scenes, all the tech guys. Lukey, obviously, it's not your fault. I saw you apologizing on Twitter, and I just wanted to give you a hug. So listen, things happen, shit happens. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. But again, thank you for everybody for bearing with us. Brandon,
my promise to you, Lukey, is I will never give you a hug as long as
I'll give you a hug, Lukey. Brandon.
Liam, I might hug you.
Oh, okay. Why? Liam doesn't even want to be hugged.
No, that's the problem. All right. By the way, Twisted Tea's delicious.
Oh, well, I was going to ask you what flavor you got there, the peach?
Well, that's another good thing a producer does. So I said on the show the other day, I'm drinking raspberry. My favorite is peach, and now look what magically appeared in my hand, a peach. So shout out to Lukey Blutman.
Yeah. Shout out to Twisted Tea. We know no carbonation. You can drink these bad boys all day. It's still super hot out. College football season is coming, though, and what better than to drink it with a Twisted Tea.
Is good.
I know my guy T-Bob. I know you were doing that Barstool After Dark beer challenge, hot dog challenge. I know you wish you had Twisted Tea there.
I love it. I actually, Twisted Tea's great. This is my first time ever tasting the peach, and it's fucking fantastic. Thank you, Twisted Tea.
You're such a loser for what you're doing right now.
George Peach, what do you mean?
What you just took out of your bag.
What do you mean? Oh, wait, no, but you set the tone. Now you're ruining me.
I was wearing
yours on.
I was wearing my West Point High School state championship ring, and look what he pulls out. Wait till
there were some questions about whether or not I was truly a national champion on the show the other day, and Brandon's been flexing this. Not West Point, Westlake. West Point state championship ring.
But not the West Point.
And I thought these were. I thought these were in the moving pods, but no, they're actually in my closet. So here they are.
That's some SEC championship rings, some national championship rings.
2 SEC championship rings and 2 national championship rings from 1 national championship. If that makes any sense.
Ev is showing off his national champion's hat.
Yes, that's a hat.
Where's
the Aggie? Get a hat?
Kayce, where's the Aggie one?
Uh-oh.
It's actually.
She has a ring.
Yeah, you know what? Hold on a minute.
Well, yeah, she has a class ring.
Yeah, she has a class ring.
They're fucking obsessed with those things, dude. The Aggies.
Some of us don't have to prove it. I mean, everyone watched me win one just a few months ago.
Hey, listen, okay?
I had to tell you it was possible.
Everything, all right? Listen here.
There we go. Aggies in the wild showed each other their class rings. One of my favorite interactions to observe from afar.
They're not called class rings, okay? They're called Aggie rings. Get it right.
Okay,
get it right.
Bad.
Well, T-Bob, here's the thing. If you give me a class full of hold on.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
You give me a class full of West Point graduates, I can win a battle.
Yep.
If you give me a handful of Texas Aggies, I can win a war.
I think Patton said that, yes?
Yeah, that's what they think.
Yeah.
That's what they pretend, yeah.
Prove he didn't say it.
Prove he did.
No son of a bitch ever won a war by dying for his country.
It's on the internet. He must have said it at some point. Somebody wrote it down.
It's on the internet and Bryan College Station.
No, it's everywhere because you don't live in Bryan College Station, so you've seen it.
I've been to Bryan College Station.
You have not?
Nope.
No, I absolutely know you have not.
Probably won't go. All right, let's go.
Okay, anyways. Okay, so last episode we did our top 10 quarterbacks. This episode we are doing our top 10 players. Any position for 2025, so we will get to that in a little bit. We're going to start with some news first, though. Brandon, I had to hold back from asking you your full take. I obviously saw you tweeting about it, but we're going to start with your guy, Curt Cignetti. Now, obviously, Big Ten media days are going on, ACC media days. A couple coaches this week taking shots at the SEC. Rhett Lashlee, we'll get to that too. But Curt Cignetti He took a shot at the SEC talking about non-conference scheduling. Now, obviously, one of the big topics is that the SEC only plays 8 games. The Big Ten plays 9 games. And he basically said, we're adopting the SEC model by scheduling really easy non-conference games. The floor is yours, Brandon. I know you loved this so much.
Oh, yeah. Curt Cignetti is a very good coach who turned Indiana around in 1 year. The job he's done is absolutely fantastic. He is also the biggest fraud and coward in America. And he is somebody that was asked – let's frame this. He was asked about Indiana signing a deal to play Virginia in Virginia and then canceling it, going back on their word, and running from Virginia like little scared cowards. That's what they did. They said, Coach, why are you doing that? Why are you running? And he said, well, the SEC, he is savvy and smart. He knows as soon as a Big Ten coach or any coach says the SEC, people are going to latch on to it, and they're going to do all these things. But this has nothing to do with the fact that he was handed the easiest schedule in major college football last year, beat 0 ranked teams, beat 0 top 30 teams, parlayed that into a playoff, and both times he stood on the sideline and got blown out by actual ranked teams. He went into a shell like a scared little puppy dog. He turned over and let both coaches, Ryan Day and Marcus Freeman, rub his little belly. He refused to go for it when down on 4th down, went down 20 points in the 4th quarter. He refused to do anything that made it look worse than it really was. He was absolutely a terrified little baby as a coach when the shit hit the fan. And then when he gets to a press conference, he wants to say, but the SEC. Guess what? Indiana last year played 1 ranked team in the regular season. Take any team in the SEC with 8 conference games. Oklahoma, for example, played 6 teams that spent time in the top 10. They're not the same. Indiana got lucky because of a schedule. Wasn't their fault. It was not their fault. They didn't try to do that, but they have tried to do this to run for Virginia. He's a great coach who thinks he's Steve Spurrier all of a sudden because he scheduled his way to a playoff, and I'm tired of his crap. I don't care that he took shots at the SEC. The SEC probably does need to be goaded into to being embarrassed about their schedule sometimes, although I would argue 8 games in the SEC most years is as tough as 9 games in any other conference, plus they have the Power 5 mandate. A&M's playing Notre Dame. LSU's playing Clemson. Alabama's playing Florida State. We're playing Arizona State. Everybody's playing a nice – most teams are playing a good out-conference team. I just think Cignetti is addicted to the clicks. He is addicted to getting out there, and he's addicted to being a bullshit artist. And then he plays a ranked team, and he towers away.
Okay. So,
and that took too long. I apologize.
Okay, so I got a couple problems with what you're saying. First off, I love Cignetti. I maintain that Indiana was way better than how many people try to portray them.
They were a good football team.
You keep doing this ranked teams thing, and the word ranked is doing a lot of heavy lifting considering the 2 losses for the 2 teams in the national championship. These were the 23rd, the 24th best teams in the entire country. So they played the best. So yes, was he a coward against Ohio State? Yes, but as he mentioned,
then he played one other team with a winning record that was 7-5
As he
Michigan.
mentioned, still trying to be relevant in terms of making the playoff at the time of the Ohio State game. People were attacking their resume. There was reason for keeping that close.
Explain Notre Dame.
Now that is, and as I said, you can love something, and I love Cignetti. I believe in Cignetti. You can love something and someone and not applaud everything you do. That was very disappointing to me. Yeah. He played scared football. He tried to keep it close. He fucked it up. Notre Dame was bad. I'm not going to defend Notre Dame. This Virginia thing, I think the biggest problem with this one is it's not what he's running from. It's the easy PR win that he gave up.
Yeah,
because he could have had he could have just been like, oh yeah, what do you mean? We beat an ACC team on the road. And it didn't matter that it's Virginia. They're fucking awful. And it was Gary. It's just a great way for Indiana to say, oh, no, look, we are good. The Big Ten's good. And look, here's the Big Ten beating the fuck out of the ACC. And it would have been easy. And everybody could have kept the movie. None of this would have been a story. But Sig is still awesome. I still think Indiana is going to be a top 25 team this year. And now, from like a pure min-maxing standpoint, it is a smart move by him.
Yeah.
Because he creates a bye week, essentially. Yeah. A guy, if one of your better players is hurt, they need to recover. Like
they're all early though.
Yeah, but it's still like if you have anything where you need a guy to get some rest, maybe a week where guys are less stressed, you're no longer traveling, you can chill on that opponent a bit. So I am a bit disappointed, but I do not think it is as cowardly or bad as Brandon's making it out to be.
I mean, Ev, I'll go to you because obviously as a Big Ten guy, I mean, we've had this conversation about the SEC and Big Ten scheduling different number of conference games. Whether you agree with the 8 or 9, they probably should be the same because they are the best 2 conferences in the country. But I mean, Texas is playing Ohio State week 1. It's not like the entire SEC out of conference is playing these dog shit teams. When you hear Cignetti talk about this, like, do you lean more towards being like, well, yeah, the Big Ten has to play an extra conference game? Or you're like, come on, man, Indiana's schedule is pretty damn easy.
Listen, you'll find me hard pressed to condemn any man chirping the SEC, especially one that wears a Big Ten hat. But I agree with T-Bob where this was a chance for him to have the easy way out of saying that, hey, we played an ACC team, we played a power conference team out of schedule. It was a no-brainer. Like, listen, if he did it down the road, I understand because I think that's the blueprint. If the committee is gonna play this game where the strength of schedule doesn't matter as much compared to just winning the football games no matter who it's against, then that's probably just smart business. I mean, getting in the playoff is more money for your school. Now, especially the first round, you're getting home games. This is huge financial impacts on the institution, also just that spotlight of being a playoff team, mass for recruiting, national televised games, standalone games. All these things are huge for the future of the program. So if you can make your journey easier to get in there, you should do it. But I agree that he whiffed on this one. He whiffed on this one because it was an easy path to just getting to chirp even more about the schedule. Even if it's hollow, he missed an opportunity to get to run his mouth a little bit, which he's good at. I mean, it's gotten him in trouble. And the Notre Dame game, the punting in the fourth quarter or whatever, down 20, is unforgivable to me. Like, that is something that I agree with Brandon 100%. That was an optics move by him. And to me, a head coach to go make a move like that based on optics, very chicken shit move.
Well, and he also had an opportunity, like you guys have said, to be, even if he didn't schedule or didn't want to play Clemson, say, then it's like, well, you ran scared from Clemson, but we know that it's Clemson in the ACC. Yeah. This was an easy win for him. Bloodman, I'll let you. I mean, I know you're an Indiana guy. You were Indiana's biggest fan at this time last year. You were a big Curt Cignetti guy. Where do you fall on this?
I mean, that's 2024. I adopt and rid of my teams at my will based on what I see. I'm still a Cignetti guy, of course. I don't have much stock in Indiana this year. I just kind of echo exactly what T-Bob said. I think it's a cowardly move. I think the one word to describe Cignetti is calculated. He is very intelligent, and he's planning everything that he says with precise reasoning. He's looking for an uproar from people and everything, and he's gang it. Like, he's gang. What Brand just gave you 3-4 minutes ago is exactly what Cignetti wants.
That's
he
fine.
wants people. Correct.
It's what I want too, buddy.
Correct. I'm just, you're both handshakes.
Yeah.
You're both getting what you want, and that's perfect, and that's good college football stuff. Now, I will say, there's 3 games on Indiana's schedule until 2030 that nobody cares about. All right. Like, they don't play anyone non-conference. If they end up backing out of the Notre Dame games in like 2030 and 2031, that's a whole nother problem. That'd be beyond pathetic.
This is Michigan's fault too.
It's I don't know. I think it's a little bit of Michigan's fault because they did schedule so poorly in their national championship year and their other year.
And the playoff year before.
Yeah, they did schedule so poorly that time. I just think I think the man got addicted to the schedule last year. It's like, hey, give me some more of that.
Yeah.
You mean I can go 11-1 without playing a top 35 team? Yay.
But it's like remember what Valeas Patercolis said, right? No man considers a course based for himself which has proven profitable to others.
Sure.
And Harbaugh went that path. It was very calculating, and it paid off big. I think Liam nailed it. Calculating is the word. Cignetti is calculating. And, yeah, you could call it addiction to easy schedule, or you can call it calculating. But, yeah, he made the path easier.
Him being calculating is what led him to be cowards against Ohio State.
Correct.
And Notre Dame.
Unfortunately,
he went into
true.
Ohio State knowing, okay, if I keep it within this number, which Ohio State, it makes sense because you're also playing defense against the Alabama and South Carolinas of the world who didn't have this third loss at that point. I think they lost later in that day.
Oh, yeah.
So he was trying to play defense. That made sense. Being calculating and staying within a number against Notre Dame was just you proving that you're not here to win a football game. You're here to win a press conference.
He's a performer.
Yeah.
He's a showman. He's got some of that wrestling heel stuff to him.
Yeah, it's true.
And you know that very so.
Yeah.
he's not only addicted to the easy schedule, he's also addicted to the headlines, which is true. Like, the Google, like he's like actually saying that out loud. But anytime that you say anything about the SEC, if you're in the Big Ten and vice versa, you're going to get those headlines. He knows that. Here we are talking about it, and he knew exactly what he was doing. And speaking of the headlines, obviously, Rhett Lashlee.
Can I stop you there?
Oh, of course.
He did stumble into one point, and I was listening to Cover 3 this morning on the way in, and he said something on there that I thought, he said, whether you talk about our schedule or their schedule, there needs to be a uniformity of schedule across the country.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
we can all agree with that.
there needs to, whether we play 8 or 9, everybody needs to play 8 or 9. I maintain 8 and a Power 5 mandate from the SEC is stronger than most Big Ten schedules. But I wouldn't have to maintain that. I wouldn't have to argue that. You wouldn't have to argue against it if everybody played 8 conference games and 2 Power 4 or something, whatever. Everybody get on the same page.
10 Power 4 games at least.
Correct. I like 8 and 2. 9 and 1 would work.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. As long as there are nooks and crannies in schedules, you're going to have things like Indiana sliding through or SMU sliding through last year and getting playoff spots. And last year was just a once in a lifetime thing where those two 11-1 teams weren't all that good, but the teams behind them lost way too many times to have an argument. So it was just a weird thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you had South Carolina, if you had Alabama,
at 10 and 2, we had a hell of a talk.
Right, but they fucked it up at the end and got 3 losses. So you couldn't leave out a 1-loss Power 4 team in that situation. So maybe we won't see that moving forward. But even with 4 teams, the committee also did show they don't necessarily care that much. I mean, we saw it with Michigan. So I agree, though. It needs to be uniform. SMU, Rhett Lashlee, more shots at the SEC. He's going viral right now for saying essentially saying the SEC's always been top heavy. They've been top heavy since 1964. Only 6 teams have won conference championships.
He plays in a league. He plays in a league that's been won by the same team 80% of the last decade.
He's going to be one again this time.
He coaches for SMU, but it's just, again, it goes back to the talking season thing. And if you throw shade at the SEC, every other conference is going to jump on it. T-Bob, you played in this league. You know how hard this league is. This was eye-rolling to me.
Well, let's also, though, this is also a bed that the SEC made when Greg Sankey back at the spring meetings rolls out his analytical data packet and being like, look how much better and how much harder everything we do is. He kind of like motivated everyone to want to get back at that shot that he sent across the country's bow with their own shots. Is what Lashlee said ridiculous? Yeah, I mean, obviously, right? Especially given the kind of ACC hypocrisy involved that Brandon alluded to. Also, I mean, it is top heavy, but sports are top heavy. Like, show me the sport that aren't dominated by a small number of the best franchises that over long periods of time remain. It's just how it works.
SEC also has 7 different national champs in the last, 30 years? I mean, like, it's crazy.
I would guess more than any other conference. Yeah. And, I mean, you look at, like, NFL draft picks, generally bowl records, though. Again, I was very happy to see the Big Ten shove it up all the 3 last teams' ass last year. But again, during talking season, everybody's advocating for themselves.
Can I say a bigger point about Rhett Lashlee?
Advocating for SMU and the ACC.
Cignetti's fine. Like, Cignetti wants to take a shot at the SEC. I get it. You went 11-1, went to the playoff. Your thing is bluster and all that. Cignetti says it. It kind of, I'll engage with him, but not that big of a deal. Like, cool. Cignetti said something. If any SEC team called Rhett Lashlee tomorrow,
he'd
go. And said, hey, Rhett, Sam Pittman's not working out. Can you get over here?
Well,
his ass would burn a hole in the ground from Dallas to Fayetteville.
Not to Fayetteville, dude. Think about it,
bro. To Como, to Columbia, South Carolina, to Lexington. If Kentucky called tomorrow, his ass is so fast.
We live in the age of the billionaire in college football, though, and nobody has more than does SMU. Like, I would be very fucking wary if I was Lashlee of not leaving for one of the elite jobs.
Coaches are competitors. They want to succeed at the highest level.
I'm just saying his best path to doing so probably lies at SMU versus going to Arkansas.
Arkansas calls him tomorrow. His ass is in a Walmart parking lot signing the deal in seconds.
No fucking way.
I agree. I completely agree. It's also just the brand name. The reason he's taking shots at the SEC is because he has thought about how good it is to play in the SEC. He doesn't actually believe that the ACC is better than the SEC. T-Bob, come on.
I don't think he believes that. I don't think that's necessarily what he's saying. Again, he's just trying to fit his own conference. I'm just saying, like, Don't sleep on how good the SMU job is right now.
It's a solid job with a lot of money flowing through it.
Super out talent, bro. They paid like $200 million to force their way into the Power Four like it was nothing.
The only jobs he probably wouldn't just leap for right now are like Vanderbilt and us, probably. He probably wouldn't jump for those jobs.
No.
Other than that,
he ain't going to Kentucky.
Shit.
Oh, well, speaking of Kentucky, Stoops did clap back at him. Stoops said if he wants to take a crack at it, come on, strap it on and come try it because I can promise you it's not easy.
Yeah.
What a funny quote too, but
I mean,
also from Mark Stoops. That just doesn't feel like a Mark Stoops quote to me.
Guys, Mark Stoops has been flailing for like half a decade now. He is,
Oh, yeah.
he is fucking going through
He's
it
a
right
dead man
now.
walking.
Yeah, and Kentucky's got no money.
Yeah.
I mean, not for football.
Not for football, yeah.
SMU obviously has stupid money, but there is, I mean, not that he was there, but there is like the irony of like what SMU went through with like the death penalty and like in this time period that he's talking about. It's like, come on, man. But I do think that there is an element, I agree with Brandon, that outside of like the lowest jobs in the SEC, just the pedigree, whether you agree with it or not, the pedigree of being in the SEC or the Big Ten is going to be attractive to a guy like Rhett Lashlee. He's young. He wants that big job. And if his name gets called for that, I have a hard time believing he would leave, especially because he's probably going to get paid more at those schools.
But the path to the playoff is so much clearer where he's
so
at.
clear.
And like said, they have as much money as these elite schools. Like this is where I think the SEC, like he's not leaving for Kentucky, like zero. Arkansas maybe could just because they have so much money behind them.
Big Ev, if that call comes through, it's not even lasting long enough to register on his phone bill.
I disagree.
For Kentucky, no shot.
Yeah.
No
Now,
shot.
I would say
He's staying at SMU.
my kind of Mendoza line would be like Auburn, who's been struggling.
Yes.
They got a lot of money. He would go to Auburn in a second. I do agree
Yes,
with
a
that.
second.
Yes.
Go to Arkansas in a second.
I don't think Arkansas.
I think he'd go to Arkansas in a second too. Kentucky, I think he'd go, but I think he'd think about it. I don't think he'd think about Arkansas.
Well, Kayce, in like another year or two, you'll probably be paying another coach, not the coach. You think Rhett? You think Rhett will still be? You think Rhett will still be available then? Maybe he can. Yeah, he could go. He would go to A&M in a second. I do think that. I do think he would go SMU to A&M.
No shit, T-Bob. No shit. I mean, Mark Stoops tried to go to A&M. You see what happened
Bro,
there?
the fact that y'all were gonna hire Mark Stoops is the most confounding fucking almost decision that I have ever seen in my entire. You're right. We don't need today. We don't need to hash it out today.
You're new to this program, and I need you to know that I'm thankful for you for doing this because I'm usually the one that it gets like lit up, like, oh, she always brings up A&M. I just want it on record. I didn't say shit about it.
No, are you kidding me? Shitting on A&M's like an LSU fan's pastime.
No,
Yeah.
I know.
It's the best.
But it does go back to, I mean, you take a shot at one of the big conferences, especially in media days. It's going to be talked about. And I do think that he would leave for a lot. I think he'd leave for Big Ten schools in a heartbeat too. I mean, there's just no doubt about it.
Yeah, true.
I do. Like, it's not
Some
just
of
because it's the SEC. I think in general, he would leave for bigger ACC jobs.
But
he's got
an SEC coaching pedigree. He's been in the SEC as an assistant multiple times.
I also don't know if he would go anywhere else in the ACC though. If I think about,
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't think he would either.
No,
Maybe
I mean because
Florida State, maybe.
I was going to say like Florida State. Like
I think he's got future SEC coach written all over.
Florida State doesn't have the commitment to resources, though. I know they have them, but it feels like they're kind of hard to pry. I mean, that's
I don't know, man.
Is that an old take? Because that's why Jimbo left for A&M back in the day.
I think. Oh, and that and $75 million. I think Florida State calls that phone call's not lasting long either.
Wow.
Florida. What? Okay, I'll see you in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Send a private jet.
I mean, like obviously Dabo's not going anywhere, but I think Clemson's up there. Like I think that he is a guy. He is young and he has the SEC coaching as a coordinator. Like I think that he's going to keep going up that ladder. And SMU has all the money in the world, and yes, they're going to be able to recruit. But like that's still SMU is still not on that pedigree of coaching if he can keep going up that ladder.
The point is not he would take another job. The point is he's standing up there at his media days taking shots at the SEC when he would absolutely do anything to go coach in the SEC.
Well, and I guess my point as a reaction is that I think the SMU job in the new era is one of the best in the entire country.
They did a great job of being ready for that transition last year, and they did a great job of making the playoff.
I don't think their team.
They weren't that good of a team.
No, I don't think their team is national championship good or anything right now. I'm not saying that.
I'm getting there. the job, we've always heard about how good the job is, how much the money is. I don't see a trail of 4- and 5-star recruits falling all over themselves to get to SMU.
I think it's going to take. Well, I think it takes time. I think
yeah.
it takes time. It's like driving a giant like cruise ship or something. You
Yeah.
can't just turn that thing on a dime. But I'm talking like if Lashlee wants to go the evolved Kiffin route, where Kiffin's now evolved, he's happy to be in
To
Oxford.
be a Kiffin that wins?
Yeah, if he wants to go, I'm content. I actually like it here. He could be at SMU forever and be the one that becomes the legend that turns that ship and makes them into a perennial power.
Which I would prefer in college football. We need more of that.
yeah.
But I don't see it.
So speaking of saving college football, Liam Blutman just texted me, breaking news, and I'm going to have Blutman explain this, but breaking news, the White House announces that President Donald Trump has signed the executive order related to college sports.
Oh, wow.
Today, President Donald J. Trump signed an executive order to protect student athletes and collegiate athletes' scholarships and opportunities included in Olympic and non-revenue programs and the unique American institution of college sports. Blutman, that just came across your desk.
So is this killing the collectives?
I seem so, yeah.
Is that what I'm looking at?
That's what it appears so, yeah.
Well, good luck, Donald.
He's
Good luck.
just claiming he saved college sports.
You're not going to be able to unseal those files. Those things are going to keep on going. So
Yeah.
you try to keep somebody at Georgia from paying a recruit. Good luck.
But to be able to say he saved, didn't he say that in 2020 too? Wasn't it like he saved college football? Like maybe this is just one of those things. But listen, anytime there's a headline that says saved college sports, I know Liam Blutman's going to be happy regardless of who's doing it.
I'm trying to remember. So, I mean, this was a story a few weeks ago when they made the presidential commission and they put, who's the Texas Tech billionaire?
Oh, I don't know.
Cody
his name.
Campbell?
I don't know his name.
Something. I got to look up his name.
Honestly,
Can you look it up,
I
Liam?
remember his name.
See if it's Cody Campbell. But him and Nick Saban are supposed to be the head of it, right? And when you read about Campbell, he was someone who very much believes in the more old school version of college, and he wanted to pool all the media rights together, self-support the other sports with it. It all felt very unrealistic to me. I think what I need to figure out, and it's way over my head to try to figure it out live, is what this would really affect more than the collectives. What does this do potentially to the settlement?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that everybody's been pointing to as what's going to give us some clarity. Now, I haven't always agreed with that necessarily, but like a lot of what Trump signed here could be, without getting to read it yet, could be at odds with the House settlement.
Yeah, it could.
Way over my head.
Yeah,
It's almost an impossible topic to break down in like the detail that we need until we can actually read what was put into motion.
I'm going to need somebody smarter than me to give me their take so I can turn it into my hillbilly language.
You can
put
put
it
it
through
in
the Brandon Walker
layman
filter.
terms.
Yeah.
You can put it in Missouri layman terms.
Yeah.
Or I said Missouri, Mississippi. I'm sorry that I said that.
They're the same
So
thing.
some of the headlines are reading Trump limiting NIL money. Trump will report he signed an executive order to limit NIL money for players.
I don't think it's limiting. I guess it is limiting NIL money, but it's just
That's gonna be
now that the schools have the revenue thing, that it should. The idea is it's coming from there, and we're pulling back on the collectives, which were
and
out
also,
of control, and they will go nowhere. They will just retreat into the dark. If
Okay.
this is in fact what is happening.
So this is
And hypothetically, this happens. All that would do, which I don't think it would happen, all it would do would just go right back to where people are doing it in McDonald's bags again. Like,
Okay.
it's not going to stop anything.
this may end up being a bit of a non-issue on the whole.
Non-thing.
It says the order prohibits third-party pay-for-play payments to collegiate athletes. This does not apply to legitimate fair market value compensation that a third party provides to an athlete, such as brand endorsement. They're never going to be able to litigate
How
or
do you know?
enforce what is one and what's the other. So this is maybe a bit performative. We'll see.
Well,
Million on the
Performative.
table, million under the table.
yeah.
Yeah, water.
It's never going to stop.
What do they say? Water finds a way.
Yeah, water
money
finds its
Water
level.
finds its
Money.
level.
Yeah, water. There you go. Like money finds a way. The path of least resistance. It's gonna
Yeah.
fucking work its way through.
Like if there's a cap, they'll find a way to get around it.
Yes.
It's always
T-Bob's still living off his signing bonus.
I wish, bruh. I didn't get paid.
Jealous.
I got one $20 handshake. I got paid in the NCAA video game lawsuit.
Did you?
Like right out of
$1,200
college
bucks?
when I had no money. No, I got like $5,000.
Wow,
It was because I was in
Hell
like
yeah.
the game 4 times. It was fucking awesome.
good for
dude.
you.
I'm about to say $5,000 at that time.
Dude,
was
fresh out of
probably-
college, that was life changing.
yeah.
I
I
think
was
Titus got
made man.
$1,200, but he was only in it once.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
it was great.
That's
Well, yeah,
sick.
they didn't. The basketball game kind of.
Yeah, wasn't as good.
Just
No.
real quickly, another thing. This is actually saying something good about the SEC. At the Big Ten Media Days, James Franklin, he said he just thinks that having Big Ten Media Days in Vegas is a terrible idea. He credited Vegas for what they are, but he was like, I don't even see our normal beat writers here. They can't afford to be there. T-Bob, obviously you've been to SEC media days. He talked about, he was like, guys, he kept saying that other conference, like he was talking about like the worst thing ever. But he's like, that other conference, he was like, they do it right. He was like, they kiss babies there. They sign autographs on babies there. The fans, and he's talking about how crazy the SEC media days are. And I found it interesting because if you watch the clip, I mean, you can tell like this is one of those genuine things from James Franklin. He's like, if we want to create a national college football brand around the Big Ten, like that other conference does, we've got to do better than this because we're not doing it right. And I actually thought that was interesting coming from James Franklin, just because he's usually not a guy that will admit anything he's a part of is not as good as something else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand having it in Vegas at all. Is that an LA thing? Is that because
weird.
UCLA and USC?
It's just, as they've moved west and brought those teams in, Vegas is just probably such an easy, it's set up to host things. I guess it's just such an easy thing. I don't know.
It's just fun as hell to go there.
I mean,
it's just an excuse to have like a 4-day all expenses paid company trip in Vegas,
which is fine. But
That's
I mean,
true.
you got like a coach and 3 players getting ready for a season in Piscataway, New Jersey, or College Park, Maryland, and they're getting on a plane going to Vegas to do this song and dance. It's already a stupid song and dance in Birmingham for the SEC to go all the way across the country. It's just stupid.
Well, it goes every now. We have Birmingham, Atlanta this year. The SEC rotates it around now. But I mean, you mentioned the beat writers, Kayce. Those are my people. Right? The people in the local beat, whether it be radio, beat writers, whatever, this fucking sucks for them. It's dog shit. You get so much content out of these 3 or 4 days. You make so many great relationships. You get to talk to players and coaches that you normally never have access to. And it's just like if you're someone who feels jaded by the moneyed nature of college football nowadays, this is kind of right in line with that. Foregoing the kind of blue-collar base that made this sport what it was, be like, hey, fuck it, let's go to Vegas for Big Ten media days.
I will say that, if you, I've been to the SEC media days in Hoover, and, walking down to those sports bars doesn't hit as hard as going to, the blackjack table at Caesars or something.
What are you talking about? The one in Hoover? Dude, the one in Hoover was straight up in a mall. It was incredible.
Oh, I know.
You can walk out and go get sesame chicken.
Do you know where the Big Ten headquarters is?
I actually have no idea. Indiana.
No. Do you know where it is? You know where it is?
Yeah, it's so close.
And do you know what's beside what?
Yeah.
Okay, Kayce, I swear to God, me and my wife go out to dinner, every weekend, and she had never been to Fogo de Chao.
Oh yeah, I love Fogo de Chao.
And I was like, let's go to Fogo de Chao. There's one down in Rosemont, which is about 45 minutes away from my house. It's back down, basically in Chicago. I guess it is in Chicago. The Big Ten headquarters, the Big Ten shares a building with Fogo de Chao.
No fucking.
The Big Ten, the Big Ten is headquartered in the building with Fogo de Chao. It splits a building. It is the smallest. It's probably a 2-story building. Looks like it could be Dunder Mifflin's headquarters in Scranton, PA.
Bro.
And it is absolutely right beside Fogo de Chao. It's also in a cluster. Zany's Comedy Club is right there. There's a hockey rink. There's all this stuff down there.
The Dogs play there, the minor league baseball team.
Yeah.
It's all in this big conglomerate. If you're going to a card show next week, you're going to see it.
That's right. We're going to be right by it.
You cannot be a multi-billion-dollar organization sharing space with the Fogo de Chao. And I love Fogo de Chao.
I do too, but that's just not, you have to be a standalone building at least. You have to at least have your own.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the picture of the Big Ten.
You know those.
You think I'm joking?
You know those tiny.
Look at this
little,
picture.
You know those tiny little cheese balls? Oh my god! Dude.
2 signs on that building. Fogo de Chao and Big Ten.
The SEC probably has a fucking campus with multiple statues and waterworks and all kinds of.
I mean, the
gaudy
Big 12
bullshit.
headquarters is its own building.
But dude, y'all know Fogo de Chao's cheese balls? Like the little dough balls and cheese balls.
You like cheese balls?
So I used to think that they would feed you. I know. I'm not even engaging with that. I used to think that they would only give you those so that you would fill up.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't maximize your meat intake.
Yeah.
So I used to wear cargo shorts to Fogo de Chao and just jam my shorts full of cheese balls, eat all the meat at the restaurant, and then over the next 2 weeks, I'd have cheese balls ready to go in my car at any given time.
Nothing's more embarrassing at Fogo de Chao than a guy dropping off meat and another guy dropping off meat. You got a plate full of meat, and then you see one more that you like. You're like, yeah, come on.
Flip it back on green.
You're starting to move, move meat to the side so you can get more meat.
So fucking good.
It's so
love
good.
some good meat. So speaking of pants, why not put those cheese balls in your Viore pants? You know,
True.
You want put them in the Viore pants, the Viore leggings. Okay, they're buttery soft. I know you felt Brandon's boxer briefs the other day, T-Bob.
They're great.
They are the best. They're incredibly versatile and comfortable. They're perfect for whatever your day brings, whether it's working out, whether it's running errands, heading to the office, or going out with friends. They have the soft, lightweight, 4-way performance stretch that moves with you. No restriction, fellas. And like I've said before, ladies, the Viore leggings make that ass pop. It's incredibly comfortable, but also very, very it's good quality. So you're not going to like see anything you don't want to see. You're not going to like stretch it where you don't want to stretch it. It's great for working out. And it's also the breathable boxer brief liner with built-in comfort and support. It is an investment in your happiness. I promise it is worth every single penny you're going to spend. And they are offering 20% off your first purchase. So get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at viore.com/roughness. That's VUORI.com/roughness. Exclusions do apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, you'll also get free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. If you don't like the size, you don't like where it fits, you don't like where it hits, you can return it. So go to viore.com/roughness and discover the versatility of Viore clothing. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. Just a couple of other headlines before we get to our top 10 players lists. Obviously, and we don't have to go into it, but too deep into it, but Chase Calicut, the 2026 Georgia recruit that was very highly touted, very important to that 2026 class, in trouble with some pretty serious allegations, road rage, which ended up to be a shooting incident, very sad situation. But of course the internet, takes it, and it's just like anything connected to Georgia right now, Big Ev, it just seems like, even though he wasn't even there yet, he's going to be a senior in high school, which does make this less of a story. But still, it's just like Georgia cannot beat these allegations with these driving related incidents.
I saw a graphic that was a stat that I think Liam will be able to confirm if it was true. It was so ridiculous. I wasn't ready to believe it at face value. Is it true they have had more arrests than wins the last 3 years? Was that a correct stat?
I saw the graphic. Can I
get Sintel?
Can I stop?
They've had so many that it was half believable.
Can I stop there though? Yeah, they've had a lot of arrests, but this one's not on them.
No, of course not. But it was
This
something.
just shouldn't count. This shouldn't count at all.
But
Did he commit?
but it's
He is committed.
I think that counts then.
That doesn't count.
I think
not there.
He could have ended up playing at Mississippi State in 3 years.
The problem is that
He hadn't signed.
Correct. He could have been anywhere. He could have been at LSU.
The issue, and again, the whole situation, because one of his friends ended up getting killed in a later date, whatever. The graphic being him sitting on the throne with all the Georgia stuff around him and being committed to Georgia, that is a tough look. It's not on them, but it didn't help the Georgia cause.
No, again, a lot of times, I think Kayce's exactly right. Perception determines reality.
Yeah.
You're correct. It's not on them, but it is because the recent history. It's going to be perceived as being on them because of recent history. And the original headlines read, they didn't read drive-by shooting. It said basically vehicular arrest.
Yeah.
Right? And so they tied it to the vehicles. We all know the Georgia's relationship with vehicles and whatnot. I still always like to point out that regardless of what you think about college athletes, they still get arrested at and getting in trouble at a lower rate than do their similarly aged peers that do not play football. It's just that they have a profile, and so they it ends up being news every time that something like that happens.
Yeah, this one's nothing to me. This is a high school kid that isn't.
If anything, it's like Kayce, it's fucking sad.
Yeah.
You hate seeing
it's
this
just,
kid had all the talent in the world. If he really threw it all away to be the driver of a drive-by shooting, if he knew about it, well, that's fucking awful and dumb and sad. If he didn't know it, that's even more awful, dumb, and sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, very. So recently came out that North Carolina is exploring the move to the SEC should the option become open. Brandon, I feel like at this point, unless you're, an Ohio State, a Michigan, a Penn State, a Clemson, maybe even Clemson, Clemson would probably, if the SEC's offering, you're probably going to take the call.
Well, I'm going to say something I never thought I would say, and this is probably the only micro time in history you could possibly say it. I don't think North Carolina's good enough in basketball to join the SEC right now.
Wow.
I don't know that this is kind of a basketball league now. It's a football league, but it's also a basketball league, and it's very competitive. I'm not sure that North Carolina's got the chops to hang in the SEC right now.
True.
Wow.
No,
What a take.
I think I don't know. Okay, I'm just going to go with my honest reaction to this story. It did nothing for me. There's been so many ACC stories about this team trying to join the SEC.
Yeah.
And I know that in theory, the SEC, would that represent a new market that they would want to get into? Yeah, I mean, I guess they're in South Carolina. But yeah, I don't know. Until something actual concrete comes about, I don't care.
Yeah, I bet they would accept the invitation.
That's
from
what
the
I'm
SEC,
saying.
Yeah.
It's like no shit. North Carolina would accept the invitation should it become available. Okay, let's get into our top 10 players 2025. Like I said last episode, top 10 quarterbacks of 2025. So Brandon, I will let you pick again. Do you want to go first? I know you've already unveiled yours, I think on Mostly, but do you want to go first?
Well, I just did it on Twitter, but I'll go fast. I already did the quarterbacks last week, as we all did. Only had 2 quarterbacks make this list. Probably should have had Drew Aller on the list as well. I would, if I redid it, I'd put Drew Aller because I'm just getting addicted to people being idiots about Drew Aller.
Mm-hmm. And I'm getting addicted to people liking that I'm calling Drew Aller out, but that's beside the point.
It's not going to age well. It's going to age like milk this year, Kayce.
Listen, I don't read responses very often just because there's no reason to, but I did see one that made me laugh that it was like, the year is 2040 and Brandon Walker still thinks Drew Aller is an elite quarterback. And that made me laugh.
Yeah.
You know, I was texting with Ev and I was like, listen, I have a whole newfound obsession with what's going to happen with Penn State and Drew Aller now.
Well, players rarely get better in their senior year with better players around them. Number 10.
We've seen a ceiling, brother. We've seen a ceiling.
We have not seen a ceiling. He hasn't had a receiver.
We're not doing this again. He had the best tight end.
What you're saying is crazy.
He had the best tight end in college football.
Yeah, and he threw to him a lot, and he threw for 3,000 yards and 30 touchdowns.
I have a question. What's the best team that he looked great against?
He doesn't look. He hasn't looked good against top 5 teams because those defenses are elite, and there's no separation. All right, you're right. We're not doing it.
He played good against Oregon in the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, that was his best game.
Okay,
take that.
In general, though, all these yards are not coming against good teams.
Number 10, Ryan Williams, Alabama. I think he is talented enough to be a top 5 player. His production wasn't really great last year. 48 catches. He has the one huge highlight against Georgia. The talent's in there. Of course, he was limited by a pretty bad quarterback. Number 9, Peter Woods, Clemson, monster on defensive line. If you're wondering if Clemson is loaded this year, just listen to this list and probably others on here. Number 8, Spencer Fano. Fano? Have we figured it out yet?
I say Fano.
Spencer Fano.
I say Fano.
No? Offensive tackle, Fano. Offensive tackle, Utah. Probably the best offensive tackle in the country, a beast. TJ Parker, I just burped. TJ Parker, number 7. There's a group of really talented young edge defenders in this country. Dylan Stewart could be on this list. It might be on you guys' list. He could be on this list. Didn't have a lot of sacks last year, had a lot of pressures, but I think TJ Parker is up there. If you wanted to swap him out for Dylan Stewart and you're not a South Carolina fan, that's fine. Colin Simmons, number 6. This is a little bit of a projection, just the body, the talent, everything they've got going on in Texas. He's probably got the same amount, around the same amount of production that Dylan Stewart has. I just projected him to go a little higher this year with better teammates around him. So much, everybody inside the defensive line in South Carolina is gone. They're going to have to revamp. Number 5, Garrett Nussmeier, quarterback LSU. Number 4, Jeremiah Love, the only running back on this list. Number 3, Cade Klubnik, the highest quarterback. And number 1 and number 2 are both from the Ohio State University. I think last year, if you did the top 100 players in college football, you probably got, 12 guys from Ohio State. This year, you're not going to have as many, but I think you do have the 2 best players, the best defensive player and the best offensive player. I personally put Caleb Downs at 1, the safety. I think he is a transcendent safety, the best safety we've seen in a very, very long time, probably since not very long time, probably since Kyle Hamilton at Notre Dame. He was really, really, really fucking good. And then Jeremiah Smith, number 2. Caleb Downs, a year older, a little bit better, more polished. Jeremiah Smith, 1A, 1B. Jeremiah Smith's going to be number 1 next year and could be number 1, probably is going to be number 1 on y'all's list. I think it's a clear 1 and 2 with those guys. I do hate, at the Buckeye Brandon label, but I don't see an argument where these aren't the 2 best players in the country. I really don't. So those are my guys, my 10 guys. T-Bob?
All right. And I imagine this is going to be common. A lot of the same names, maybe a slightly different order. Number 10 on the list, Jeremiah Love. I kind of made my list first without numbering, and then I looked some things up, and I was looking like PFF stuff. And so if I reference PFF a lot, that may be why in this case. But 5th highest graded running back last year, come back for this year, almost 7 yards a carry. I mean, he's awesome, right? Number 9 on the list, Cade Klubnik. I have him number 1 in the country. Like I said, great quarterback in a perfect situation. His improvement from 23 to 24 is truly fucking astounding. Going from ranked 102nd in his PFF grade at 63.9 all the way up to 5th last year, and then everything should just get better than another year on task. It's kind of scary how many Clemson players on this. Number 8, Peter Woods, defensive tackle from Clemson, leads all Power 4 defenders in run grade and pass rush win rate. Number 7, Colin Simmons, out of Texas, super highly rated 5-star, supposed to be incredible, and outdid that billing. Sean Alexander, freshman of the year last year, freshman All-American. He's going to be incredible. Number 6, Jake Slaughter, the center from Florida. First team All-SEC, first team All-American last year. Actually, PFF has him as the top overall offensive player for the for SEC this preseason. But yeah, the only center in the country last year to have a grade over 80 in both run blocking and pass blocking.
I just would never
redshirt senior as well.
I would never put a center on a list of top 10 players. You know, centers snap the ball. What else do they do? You know, they're not that valuable.
Yeah.
You can't really do much with them. They're just They're just average ass white guys that just happen to be.
Make the calls, communicate, make sure everybody knows what they're doing.
I just don't know that I respect centers. That's all.
Have, you know, the least sweaty asses of anybody on the field.
Was that always a concern?
No, I had incredible ass.
Okay.
I would let anybody on this show take a snap for me, and
we'll
you
do
would
that
love
later.
Number 5 on my list, Spencer Fano. Again, he's been fucking incredible, dude. He's actually a couple occasions of him as the Big 12 offensive player of the year going into the season. Last season, he led the country. Led all tackles with his PFF grade of a 93. He's a fucking physical freak. I got Anthony Hill at 4. Again, another guy, first team All-American last season. As his freshman year, he was the Big 12 defensive freshman of the year. Now he's here for a third. Yeah, come on. TJ Parker out of Clemson is number 3 on my list. I don't quite get this. So a lot of these other guys all have All-American accolades. Also have, I think TJ Parker only has second team All-ACC to his name.
Yeah.
He had 20 fucking TFLs and 11 sacks last year. Yeah. And that's up from 13 and 5.5. Like, the path is set, along with his teammates being awesome. Like, Parker's going to dominate. And then again, Big Ev, take a bow, go ahead and unzip, because we have Jeremiah Smith at number 2, because of course we do. It speaks for himself. And Caleb Downs at 1. I'm kind of like Brandon. I think that Downs and Smith had similarly meteoric freshman years. I think that wide receivers easier to calculate that on, and he did it in that Rose Bowl game, which was such a big stage that, like, it makes you feel like we've never seen anybody be that good as a freshman. I think maybe slightly edges Downs there. So you give me 2 more years of season on Downs, I'll have Downs 1 and Smith 2. It's just their best combination in football, best 2 players in football, hands down.
Yep.
Unreal. All right, Ev.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of similar lists. I got Peter Woods 9. I mean, just dominant run stuffer. Just set your watch to him. Colin Simmons 9. I think absolute freak. I mean, off the edge, young stud. Like, should go for double-digit sacks this year out of good Texas defense. I got Ryan Williams 8. I agree with Brandon. It was like the production was maybe lacking slightly, but I do think a lot of that was Milroe. I think if you had a real throwing quarterback, he goes nuclear. I think the talent's there. He's a legit guy. Obviously just undersized, but still just dominant as hell. Anthony Hill Jr. I have next. He's someone who I feel like weirdly isn't getting enough of the hype and is not on some of these top 10 lists. And I think he's just incredible. I mean, just like a do-it-all linebacker. He just does everything. Gets after the quarterback, tackling machine, can cover running backs. I mean, he does a little bit of everything. Jeremiah Love I had next. I mean, just incredible athlete. I mean, even in some of the games we're in the playoff, he's playing with a torn knee. I mean, the effort, the athleticism, I mean, everything, you see it. He's next. And TJ Parker I have 5th. Absolute stud. Like you said, big production last year. Should get more love. Cade Klubnik I have 4th. I grew with T-Bob, but anyone listened to the show last year, even I've said it a bunch, like coming into last year, wasn't super high about him. I mean, the level up he had was just unbelievable. I mean, I totally think differently now. I'm all in on the Klubnik train.
Yep.
I think he's clearly the best quarterback coming into the season. 3, Spencer Fano. I mean, just dominant run blocker, just a mauler. Definitely going to be obviously a top pick in this next draft, probably. I have Caleb Downs 2, and obviously Jeremiah Smith 1. I think they're clearly the 2 best players. I think anyone could say otherwise is crazy in my opinion. But I have Smith 1. I just think when I look at him, it's the physical dominance. Like he gives me like in his freshman year, he gave me like an Adrian Peterson feel in terms of like you're seeing this kid who's 18, 19 years old, but he looks like not just as a player, but physically like ready for the league already. Like I've never seen a guy like that at so young, be so big, so strong, so dominant. And it really didn't take any time. Like he immediately stepped on the field and probably was the best player on the field.
Well, he got you can speak as better than I can, but he got the black stripe removed from his helmet faster than anybody ever, right?
Yeah, like I mean, he just is so like he stepped in there, and all the guys like Buka and these like Tate guys have been there for years were immediately just like, this is, I mean, he's the guy. Like the plays he was making immediately against NFL corners, is just incredible. And I think like this year, listen, he's going to get triple covered a bunch and stuff, but he's just so like I've never seen a player like him. Like I think he is by far, and this is crazy to say, like the best of this Ohio State wide receiver run they've had. I think he is leaps and bounds ahead of even like Marvin Harrison Jr., Garrett Wilson. Like I think this is a true one of one, like gold jacket kind of guy. Like I really truly believe that in my heart and soul, and really more importantly in my mind. When I just watch him, he's just so dominant. No one can guard him. And it's the speed, it's the physicality, the route running, the go up and get the ball, everything. He is good at everything.
Well, and to have Ibuka on the team too, it's not like he was the only receiver on the team to be able to take those types of, those moments. To me though, too, it's like, we always know that like raw athleticism can translate, right? Like, and sometimes it's going to take a couple of years for their bodies to grow, whatever, get on the collegiate level. This guy didn't have to do that. So what's another, T-Bob, you know what these off seasons look like with the weight training and the conditioning and all that.
Yeah,
like he's going to be,
in my opinion, your biggest jump is year 1 to year 2.
Yeah.
Year 1, a lot of times you can kind of feel like, even if you're really good, like, okay, it's kind of a whirlwind. I'm trying to keep my head, like trying to keep the train on the tracks, essentially. Year 2, you're like, all right, now let's work. And then year 3, everything just like really slows down.
Okay, Liam, your list?
Prefacing this by saying I did not include any quarterbacks. This is a non-quarterback list. I really wanted to get Coy Parrish at Minnesota in there. I couldn't fit him in. Number 10, wide receiver at ASU, Jordan Tyson.
Yeah.
It's a guy who has the production to back it up. If he wasn't hurt, I think they end up beating Texas. He is a game changer. The connection with Levitt's going to be nasty all season. Most ASU players have come out and just straight up said, this guy is in here working at the facility 24/7. We don't know if he goes home. It's like a Blutman in the Barstool office. We're here or nowhere. Number 9, Caden Proctor, offensive tackle, Alabama.
I think he plays at Iowa.
Well, he did. Well, he couldn't make his mind up either, to be fair.
Okay.
Caden Proctor, offensive tackle, Alabama. Violent.
Yeah, how deep in the college football weeds do you have to know to appreciate that joke?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like I actually
Brandon
don't know.
was so proud of that too.
It's a good
Brandon
joke, but I just wonder how many people know the Caden Proctor song.
The poor guy was leaving and he like retired at some bar or restaurant in Tuscaloosa for the fried Oreo record. He was so proud to be leaving that history behind. He's coming back. He's going to have to break that. He's a big bully, big violent guy. Number 8, Dylan Stort, edge, South Carolina. I will have a bullet in my brain despite the fact I rank them highly. South Carolina fans will not like that at all. Okay. Number 7, Peter Woods, defensive tackle, Clemson. You guys dove into him fully. He's an absolute menace in the trenches. Number 6, Spencer Fano, quick, violent, incredibly traitsy. He's one of the premier players in this country in the upcoming NFL draft for a reason. He'll be a top 10 pick. Number 5 is Colin Simmons, the super twitchy, athletic, bendy. He'll have double-digit sacks this season. I think he's the best player on Texas, as evidenced by a list. Number 4, Jeremiah Love, running back, Notre Dame. Incredibly just gifted, just naturally talented, athletic freak, hurdling the hurdles will have you sit back and smile.
What
They
was
really
the
will.
what was it the semifinal, the run on the goal line where he like ripped his leg out? Was that against Georgia? I can't remember. Never mind.
No, I think it was against Penn State. I mean, he had the one against USC. Too.
Maybe
That
I'm
was
thinking of the
crazy,
Penn
but-
State one. That was
Penn
it's
State,
like
I
it's like
think.
it drilled into my mind.
Number 3 is TJ Parker, edge Clemson. Again, maybe doesn't have the accolades that he deserves, but who cares when you hear your name called as one of the first, 2 or 3 people in the NFL draft? You're a heck of a player. TJ Parker will see his name called very early on in a few months. Caleb Downs is 2, and number 1's Jeremiah Smith. I think
Wow.
what sent it home for me is, as an 18-year-old tearing up the college football scene from day one, it wasn't hyperbolic when you, I, or other analysts or people who played college football, play in the NFL, said, yeah, he could go play in the NFL tomorrow.
Yeah.
He could go play on Sunday and tear it up and get his 100+, get a touchdown. At 18 years old, he's only scratched the surface, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Okay, and then my list, I'm not going to go into depth of the ones that you guys have already had. I only have 2 quarterbacks on here, and going off of my list from last week, I'll keep that true. I know that it's going to sound low, but that's because I think all these players above him are that. I have Cade Klubnik at number 10. Obviously, I think he's very talented. He was my number 2 quarterback, but I think the guys in front of him, just from a standpoint of what they're going to be able to do at their position, is better. I have Ryan Williams at number 9. I agree with the production. I think he'll be much better this year. Colin Simmons from Texas at number 8. I do have Dylan Stewart, which I know, Brandon, you mentioned could be on this list. One of the major mistakes I made last year was not respecting South Carolina's defense. And when you look at what he was able to do on the edge, he was phenomenal, super athletic. I think he'll take that next step. Spencer Fano at number 6, Peter Woods at number 5. And again, what I said last week, number 4, I have Lenora Sellers, or I guess not last week, or last episode. Very high risk, high reward here. It could be the worst pick of all time, but if I think Lenora Sellers is going to be the number 1 quarterback in 2025, I'm putting him there. This is where, and you guys are probably going to have an issue with this, I think Caleb Downs is by far the best safety we've seen in a long time. I have him at number 3.
Oh,
He's unbelievable.
spicy.
I know. I have him at number 3. He's easily could be number 2. I have Jeremiah Smith at number 1, by the way. That was not even a thought process for me. Jeremiah Smith easily. The reason that I have Jeremiah Love at number 2 is because I truly think, I think when you look at what's going to happen in New York in December, okay, Caleb Downs could easily be there. But I think Jeremiah Love is going to have the type of season at Notre Dame that we saw Ashton Genty have last year. I think that this kid is just going to be every single second of every single game of Notre Dame. You're going to see Jeremiah Love, not just the highlight reels, which we all love. We love the hurdle against USC, Penn State, all of that. Just the fact that last year with the elite defense that Notre Dame had and having the impact that he did to get Notre Dame to the national championship, averaging 7 yards a carry, all the things that we've said, I think that we're going to be looking at a Heisman Trophy, obviously candidate, but it's going to be a very big time season for him. And that's the reason I put him number 2. Do I think that he's a better overall player than Caleb Downs? Probably not. But at his position and what he's going to be able to do for Notre Dame, I put him in number 2. And then, like I said, Jeremiah Smith with a bullet for number 1. I don't even think there's an argument that I could make otherwise. But so a little bit different, but my 1, 2, 3, obviously, you could really interchange them just like you guys did.
Well, those are the lists.
I think I've landed on a new pronunciation for Spencer.
What do you got?
Fano,
Fano.
right?
We said that.
You said Fano? I thought you said
I
Fano.
said Fano, Fano, Fano. Which one is
I
it?
thought you said Fano. And
I
then
said Fano. He said
Fano.
Fano. You said Fano. He said Fano. I said Fano.
You said Fano. Oh, then
Fano.
I'm on your team. Then I missed that. I'm sorry. I'm on your team.
No, he's on
I'm
Utah.
I'm saying Fano.
Yeah, he's on Utah. He's not on Mississippi State.
No.
Oh, he's not on Mississippi.
This might be one of those
I'm very
choose your own
confused.
adventure names where you kind of just say it how it flows off your tongue.
Oh,
best.
like Tyler Show.
Yeah.
Tyler
Sure.
Show.
the ultimate choose your own adventure. Oh, a Rick Armstead or Eric
Yeah,
Armstead,
yeah.
a Reek. Nobody still knows to this day what his first or not Armstead. The who was the old
tight end?
tight end? Yeah,
Gilbert, right?
Gilbert.
Yeah.
Yeah, excuse me. Armstead's
Eric
the
Gilbert.
dude.
Nobody even knows where he is.
So yeah, Rick Gilbert, Eric Gilbert. I don't know. Still
If
the
you,
same.
by the way, I'm going to read the first line of this copy and then ask you a question.
Okay.
If you're having a backyard get together, we're on for Saturday night. You coming over?
Yep, coming over.
Coming over. Gonna
Yep,
grill
gonna
some
bring
steaks.
the family over, get the kids
Thinking maybe
together.
steaks for the adults and burgers for the kids.
Sounds fantastic.
Unless your kids, do your kids?
My kids love steak.
Are they already some corn-fed kids getting ready to play offensive tackle at LSU?
I don't know if my daughters will play offensive tackle, but they want to play hockey. So maybe. And my oldest daughter's very
Wow, they're in the
she's
right
a
spot.
tall girl.
Got lucky.
Hell yeah.
Moved to Chicago. If you're having a backyard get-together, Wayfair is your one-stop shop for outdoor entertaining. And if you do come to the house, you will be sitting on Wayfair
For real
furniture
though, I'm
outside
moving
by
into
my
a house.
patio.
I'm moving into a house Tuesday, so like Wayfair.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Yeah, let's talk. Cookout, shop patio tables, grills, and dishware. Pool party. I don't have a pool, but I have a lake. Kickback with lounge chairs, day beds, and umbrellas. Game night. Wayfair's got cornhole, croquet, and string lights to set the scene. And with fast and easy shipping, it's never been easier to get ready to party. So however you kick back out back, go to Wayfair for effortless entertaining and game-filled gatherings. There's something for every style and every home, no matter your space or budget. Wayfair makes it easy to tackle your summer home goals with endless inspiration for every space and budget, including the outdoors. Shop outdoor furniture, grills, lawn games, and way more for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to explore a huge outdoor selection. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home.
Do you have string lights?
I need to get string lights.
I'm not coming
You
over.
need those.
I'm not coming over. What a piece
I'll
of
have
shit.
string lights by Saturday.
Okay, good.
In fact,
I'm
as I was
back in.
reading it, I was thinking, where can I get string lights as fast as that? But I think you can get free, real quick shipping on Wayfair. So,
There you go.
yeah.
Last episode, we did the most underhyped teams. This week, we are doing the most overhyped teams. T-Bob, I will start with you. Who is getting too much hype
Ooh.
on, what's the date today? July 24th,
Okay.
going into 2025.
Okay, so I'm going to do two kind of OLIs real quick.
What?
Outside looking in.
Thanks.
Not my answer.
Yeah.
The first, and this is a team that I love and that we talked to recently, and I hope they do well. But Illinois has to be a candidate here simply because all the close games they won last year.
Yeah.
Whenever you're looking for aggression or progression,
Yeah.
you can look at one-score games, and if a team won an inordinate amount of them, it's always hard to try to reproduce that. Now, I love everything return prep Illinois player retention's elite. Illinois is close. They're not my answer. Texas Tech, I was dangerously fucking close to doing Texas Tech. But they have such an overwhelming amount of talent that they brought in. Signed 12 4-stars in the transfer portal. That's more than the entire Big 12 combined. They have Barrymore come back for a third year starting. Like, I'm giving Joey McGuire one more pass. But it feels like every year we do this, we hype them up. And as you said, Brandon, they become irrelevant by the middle of the year. So, dangerous close there. I'm actually going with one of the big boys, though. My number one answer with a bullet are the Oregon Ducks.
Oh, I love it. I fucking love it.
The
Nobody's
reason-
taking. Yeah, I love
Look,
this.
and I get it. They still have elite talent everywhere because that's what Dan Lanning does. He recruits great, right? But look at the season that they had last year, first off. A literal perfect season to try to do something that nobody had ever done and do it again, and like beating Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State all in the same year. That's not likely, even if you had everybody back. What about when all of a sudden you're going with Dante Moore at quarterback after 3 years of Bo Nix and Dylan Gabriel, 17-year seniors that amassed some of the best stat lines that we've ever seen in college football? You replace 4 of your starting 5 offensive linemen, and I know you brought talent in, but again, it's a lot of changeover. So my answer is Oregon, not that they'll be bad, but they're not going to achieve the heights of last year.
And they're also going to be preseason like top 8.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think of them as like a top 5, top 8 football team.
Yeah. I love that one. I did not think of that one, but looking at it, thinking about it, I think that's a fantastic use of this platform.
Brandon?
I'll go last.
Okay. Ev? Oh, boy.
I just want to see who's on the board because I got several.
So are you going to let Blutman do cleanup or no?
He can do cleanup afterwards.
I'm not taking one of Brand's. I could almost assure him that.
Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead. Just take one.
What do you got, Ev?
Just do it. Ev.
Ev.
Yeah, I had 3 written down, but I'm gonna go with one that I feel the most confident about. I think I have to go South Carolina. I think they're and I know it's crazy because I always look at it. Listen, I look at it from big picture perspective, and I also look at it from a gambler's perspective. And the gambler's perspective, you might look at the win total and see 7.5 and be like, like I guess does Vegas not even think they're gonna have a big year? That's honestly part of my thinking.
Yeah.
But also when I just look at the hype they have from last year, I think teams get too, or even just narratives in the offseason get too caught up in the hype of the end of last season. And to me personally, the end of last season means absolutely nothing for this new season. Listen, they have some very talented players. They have Sellers, talented player. Dylan Stewart, very talented player. When I look at this team and the schedule, it wouldn't shock me at all if this team lost 6 games next year.
Yeah.
And they're getting talked about as a playoff team, getting talked about that they have, Sellers being talked about as like a first-round pick and all this stuff, top pick in the draft. I don't know. Like I said, they had the great end of the year last year. I don't think it carries over this year. I think South Carolina's underwhelming. I don't think they're a playoff team this year. I think they end up being kind of like a middle-of-the-roadish SEC team. So, yeah, I think South Carolina does not live up to this big playoff hype they have coming from 2024 into 2025.
Lost every interior defensive lineman.
And Kennard.
Kennard's phenomenal.
Lost every
Kennard
linebacker.
was the best player on the defense.
Lost their starting corners. It's just Stewart's
It's too much.
Stewart's good. Sellers good. Where are the receivers? You know what?
Like Sellers and Mikael Harper, but like Sellers could be awesome, but like Ev's saying, they could still be 7-5.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, no, I mean, like every time I've talked about them, it's very high risk, high reward. Middle of the road SEC would not shock me whatsoever, Evan. You're right. They are getting a ton of hype. This team is not getting a ton of hype at the top, but I believe they'll be a top 25 team because they always are. And they had one of the biggest stories in the offseason. I think Tennessee will probably be a top 20 team. And I feel like with Joey Aguilar, look, he could be great, but even Tennessee fans had mixed reactions because what happened with Nico? And if they had Nico still and all the hype that we've given Nico over the last couple of seasons, like absolutely they deserve all the hype in the world. With what happened with them and how late in the process Josh Heupel stood on business and said, hey, we're not doing this with you, which I still commend. Like, I feel like the fact that Tennessee will be ranked in the top 20, and I understand why, they're SEC, they're Tennessee, like that to me is going to be a little bit overhyped. We have absolutely no idea what this kid's going to be like at quarterback. We have no idea how quickly he's going to pick up what Nico left off. And I just still do not fully believe in being able to rebound that quickly, even though they made the right decision. So if you told me Tennessee was 27th, 30th in the country, I'd say, okay, fine. I guarantee you they're somewhere in that 15 to 18 range, and I think that's going to be too high.
Good call.
May I actually speak on Tennessee?
Yes.
You have a microphone.
Thank you. I do. Thank you. Good
And you
call.
are orange.
I have been true. Good call. GBO. I've been a Joey Aguilar denier in recent years. I've been thinking to myself last few months though. I really have.
You've been thinking about Joey Aguilar the last few months?
I have. Look, I've been thinking, hey, Hendon Hooker was able to go there, absolutely carved. Joe Milton was able to go there, absolutely carved. Nico couldn't do it. We know Nico has a lot of baggage. You're playing at Tennessee with Josh Heupel. You're in a super quarterback-friendly offense with a quarterback whisperer. I think Aguilar is going to be very, very solid there. I don't even know if Tennessee really takes that big of a step back this year. I trust their defense a lot. I'm kind of buying stock in Aguilar, and I was an Aguilar questioner. I just need to say that.
What are you remembering that tells you Joe Milton went to Tennessee and absolutely carved?
I mean, carved is
when
just...
did that happen?
Joe didn't carve, Hendon carved. Joe did not
Hendon
carve.
did. Joe never turned into anything.
It's how
But
do you
but
say...
Joe was Nico, to be fair. Like
the last two,
But-
Joe and Nico haven't done anything.
I think Joe kind of outperformed his true talent.
I don't.
Well, I don't know, but he has the rocket arm, dude. I mean, did you see
Yeah, I
the
mean, he can
throw?
throw it 80 yards.
So-
but-
I just think...
Liam, do you think that Nico is a better quarterback than Joey Aguilar?
Talent-wise, yes. Head-wise, no. Family-wise, no.
But do you really think that Tennessee would be just immediately better with Joey Aguilar over Nico?
Today, yeah, 100%.
I feel like that's crazy, but hey, I could be wrong.
What Nico do on the field to prove anything aside from having a few stars?
The thing about Heupel is watch out if he ever does catch an elite quarterback, because he has somehow built Tennessee into a team that has been successful because of defense and running the ball.
Yeah.
So with his attack, if you add an elite quarterback, that is going to be such a friendly fucking spot where you're just making 50-50, like one side of the field, high-low reads, and it's going to be like Hendon Hooker was the closest that we saw, but then the defense wasn't quite there where it is now. Once he gets his guy, they're going to be really good, but maybe not with Aguilar.
Well, and T-Bob, that's why they consistently stay getting ranked a little bit higher than maybe they should every preseason, because everybody knows that about Josh Heupel and what he's been able to do. So it's like, oh, Tennessee, Josh Heupel, we've got to keep them up there. But they don't have that quarterback this year, unless I'm completely wrong. I mean, I'm not saying Joey Aguilar is going to be bad by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think he's the answer to the quarterback problem at Tennessee, because he wouldn't be starting if Nico wasn't a head case. If Nico didn't have bad people around him, Nico would be.
Okay, I have two, and I am going to invoke executive privilege that I get to do that because I'm the #1 college football media personality in the country.
According to a now defunct publication, but yes, continue.
Which, as we've said, you should get stripped of, technically.
Yeah, technically you should
Based
be
on
stripped
what?
of your title.
Why?
Because Big Game Boomer doesn't exist anymore.
He did when he made this banner.
But
Yeah.
then, I mean, if allegedly, and I know he wasn't being serious, but when T-Bob said, he was involved in some nefarious things.
Yeah, it's true.
You should technically be punished
So-
as well.
You should condemn Big Dame Boomer on air right now so everybody knows that you don't stand with him.
I'd rather die.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Okay.
I condemn Time Magazine. Fuck you, Time
First of
Magazine.
all,
Sorry.
you made a point about a team, Illinois. So many one-score games.
Yeah.
As I was looking at this, there's a team that stands out to me. They are not one of the teams I'm about to say. Arizona State is a ripe candidate.
I know,
they are
dude.
ripe on
I
the
know.
vine
I
for
know.
somebody. All we look back and remember is that blowout of Iowa State and then competing against Texas. That's all we remember. We don't remember them losing to Cincinnati or losing to UCF. But we don't remember them with the close wins. A 7-point win against us, we were awful. 5-point win against all these teams, all these
Texas
bad teams.
State.
Thank you very much. Texas State, they beat 31-28. I think they had 7 one-score wins last year. They are a big candidate. But I like the quarterback. I like the coach. Alabama is getting too much hype, but I'm not going to spend time talking about it. I have 2. And number 1 is actually a team that somebody here used as their team the other day for a team not getting enough hype.
Oh.
It's Georgia Tech. I feel like they're gonna be preseason top 25. I think everybody's saying, well, watch out for Georgia Tech in the ACC, and it feels a lot like this year's Virginia Tech. If you remember last year, Kyron Drones coming in, they opened with Vanderbilt, but they were going to be the team. They had won 8 or 9 games before. They were going to be the team.
I believed it.
And then they just sucked.
They
just sucked. Georgia Tech, new defensive coordinator, totally revamped front 7, completely revamped front 7. They got some transfers, 3 new starters on the offensive line. Haynes King, tough guy, good quarterback. It's not like he can throw the piss out of the ball. He can run the ball, and he's doing it behind a revamped offensive line.
Lost Eric Singleton.
Lost his best receiver. Like, I don't think there's a quarter. What?
You got a better receiver
Than Eric Singleton?
Eric Rivers is better than.
He got a very good one. I don't know if I can.
Give me your face on Eric Singleton being worse than Eric
Rivers.
Give me your face. Oh, it's confused. Yeah, he didn't like that. Okay.
Rivers is phenomenal.
Also, their schedule is just a little weird.
He is phenomenal. That is true.
They're just a little weird. So they start at Colorado, then they have an FCS game against Gardner-Webb, then they have Clemson. It is possible they start 1-2, all the momentum is gone, and they're chasing the rest of the year. It is possible you lose one of those first 2 or 3 on the road at Colorado. Listen. I think Georgia Tech's probably just as good or a better team than Colorado, but on the road to Colorado to open a season, we saw the way Colorado, even the year they went 4-8, opened the season against TCU a couple of years ago. They got at Duke, at NC State, at Wake, at BC. Now those are not great teams, but they're toss-up games. That's your toss-up games. They're on the road.
Yeah.
And I really feel like the schedule is a little trickier than people think, and I don't think the team's as strong as people want it to be. I think Georgia Tech's getting too much hype. And I only did a split here because I didn't want to just pile on this team. But you got to be fucking kidding me that Oklahoma's going to be a preseason top 15 team. Are you telling me that adding a Pac-12 quarterback and a Pac-12/ACC running back is going to make that big of a difference? The defense is good. They played 8 SEC games last year. They got blown the fuck out 4 times. Half their SEC games, they got blown out. They beat Alabama, sure. That was Jalen Milroe's fault. They will be a good team. They'll be an 8-4, 7-5 team. This might be his best actual team at Oklahoma, other than the one that they had one that went 10-2 against the paper soft schedule. Might be his best team, but the offense is going to have to come a very, very, very long way. Venables has never proven he can pick the right materials on offense. The receiver room isn't that good yet. It was so hurt last year. I just and the schedule, they got Auburn and Michigan in the first 6. Here's their schedule starting October 11th, T-Bob. Texas, at South Carolina, Ole Miss, at Tennessee, at Bama, Missouri, LSU. After October 11th, every team they will play will be in the top 15.
So I agree with you because of the schedule. The only point that you made that I would push back on is Venables did let Lebby and Gabriel run wild. That offense was fucking awesome. But ironically, the defense sucked, right? He didn't have the defense together. So, like, again, if I'm an Oklahoma fan, that's where I would build my confidence on. But the schedule kind of makes it all a moot point anyway, because they could be vastly improved and still be like 8-4. Be a good 8-4, but 8-4 is not going to get you in the top 15.
But 6-6 or 5-7, what were they last year? Were they 5-7 or 6-6? They were right around that.
5-7.
They were 5-7 last year. They've been 6-7 his first year, 5-7 last year. You're telling me that's a top 15 team? Bullshit.
No, well, and people love John Mateer, and I know most of us on this show did too. But Brandon,
I do.
just real quick, I mean, it'll be a preseason conversation we'll have longer in a different
6,
episode. But how do you think that he could get fired if he goes 5-7 again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The buyout
think
is
he'll
still
get
pretty
fired.
fucking crazy, though, isn't it?
Buyouts don't matter. I don't think buyouts matter.
To Oklahoma?
matter.
I don't think it mattered to anybody.
Well, no, Kayce, you have to recuse yourself from this conversation because y'all, I know y'all think that way. Trust me, but not all of us.
$90 million? What's that?
Not all of us have that. Like Brian Kelly could not get fired this year. Like he really can't.
I bet y'all would figure out a way. If he,
$50 million, he can't
T-Bob,
do
if he went
50 million.
7-5 with these expectations,
That would put him on for next year's chop and
They
block.
would just steal from a children's hospital. It'd be fine.
Hey, look, bro. If you ain't trying, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Those kids get a lot of money.
to be honest,
Okay, those kids get a lot of fucking money.
going to the barber can be a hassle. I love talking to my barber, but it's another errand to run after a long week. The upside, I still have enough hair. Look at this.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Look at this. Look at this.
You got lucky.
didn't
You
get
could.
lucky,
I almost
You
had
got
to cut
lucky.
this hair
You
today.
got lucky. You could still
You
do this
almost-
read.
I almost had to cut this hair today, but look at this
No,
long,
hold on.
flowing, beautiful hair.
Not only did you have to almost cut it, please be specific. You
About-
almost had the Jeff D. Lowe hair.
Yeah, that would have been a tragedy for me.
God, Brandon with a fade. I wish I could see it.
But if you want to keep the hair you have and see thicker, fuller hair, Nutrafol Men has you covered. Clinically tested and science-backed, Nutrafol Men targets root causes of hair thinning from within so you can keep and maintain the hair you've got. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand trusted by over 1.5 million people. In just 3 to 6 months, go from a hack guy to a hair guy with visibly thicker, fuller hair and improved scalp coverage. Nutrafol's top hair growth supplements are physician-formulated using 100% drug-free ingredients, and their patented technology provides consistent, reliable results. Nutrafol Men is clinically tested to improve hair growth and quality. Plus, Men also reported no impact to sexual performance, which is good for me because my life is built on sexual performance. Get that image in your head, folks. Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com/men. Enter the promo code UR. Find out why Nutrafol is the leading hair growth supplement brand on the market at Nutrafol.com. Nutrafol.com/men. Promo code UR.
Okay, Liam.
I wrote down a few teams. One of them was South Carolina. I think that's a good shout. One of them was Illinois. One of them was Oklahoma.
Oh, wow.
I still have 2 remaining, and I don't know if it's necessarily... no, this first team is getting hyped.
Get 'em.
Where I see a lot of people saying that they're a top 15 caliber team. Oh, but the schedule's so tough. They're not coached by a guy that could have them in the top 25. It's Florida, man. Florida's plus 400 to make the playoff. There ain't no way they should have that low of odds to make the playoff. DJ Lagway is a tremendous talent. He's still going to have one to take his next step in development, which sure we need to see. 2, he's still coming in a bit hurt and banged up. They've got a brutally tough schedule once again, and Brandon Walker has preached to the choir. The man at the helm cannot get it done. Why would anybody be investing in Florida? Buying Florida stocks. That's a dangerous game to play. They're closer to a 6-6 team than they are to the playoff, and that's just a fact. Number 2 is sticking in the same state. It's Miami. People want to say Miami should have been in the playoff last season. All right. We're on to 2025, and we're on to 2025 where Carson Beck is your QB1. A guy who Georgia is beyond thankful to not have on their roster. So now we're doing a shift where a team that wants to be in the playoffs so desperately has a guy that was rejected by his SEC national championship level school. Not good. And you already have the dating drama with the Cavaliers, the car thing. That's a whole nother thing.
And the injury.
Carson Beck, he hasn't done much throwing of the football lately.
No.
So I've got big time concerns about Miami. They're plus 170 to make the playoff. They are plus 135 to make the ACC title game in an ACC that right after Clemson, very, very wide open. I think they're going to trip up a few times, closer to an 8-win team than a playoff team.
I like that list.
All right. So there we go. That's your teams receiving too much hype. Anybody leave anybody else on the cutting floor?
God. So Clemson
I had
had
Oklahoma and I had Indiana too. And the only reason I say Indiana is because I've seen them on some lists getting ranked in that top 5, 6 still in the Big Ten. I think they're more the middle. I think teams like Washington, some other teams like that are a lot better. So Indiana, I think they go below the win total. I still think they're getting too much hype.
Indiana's almost got like an inverse Napier, though, where like I do believe, regardless of how you maybe feel about Cignetti in those biggest moments, he is somebody who raises the talent that he has around him.
I like him as a team a lot this year. I just don't like him as what he is.
I don't want to do it because I do like them a lot, not just because they came into the podcast, but I think Illinois is absolutely a good answer because, I mean, everybody is all over Illinois. Now, I think they're going to be a very talented team, and Luke Altmaier obviously having the, 3 years of experience. And this is not one I don't agree, but I did see reactions is that I do not think so. I unfortunately think they're going to be very good. But there is an argument that you could make that until we see Arch Manning actually be the starter, that Texas might be a little overhyped just because people are saying that they could be the number 1 or 2 team in the country.
It's funny you say that. I actually say that. But can I take a timeout?
30 second or full? 30 second or full?
Take a timeout. Yeah,
take a timeout.
I'm just going to talk to T-Bob. We're going to talk.
30 seconds.
Just talk on the bench real quick.
What's going on? What you got?
I think don't you think? Texas A&M is going to be like a top 15 team preseason, and what have they done to be a top 15 fucking team?
Well, I mean, look, they're going to go 8-4.
Yeah, maybe 7.
I mean, 8-4. No, they always go 8-4.
Marcel Reed, is that really?
Go slander.
I'm kind of good at Marcel Reed. I like Marcel Reed.
He's probably pretty good, but do you think they're going to be like top 15 preseason?
I like Mike Elko.
Yeah,
they have good players.
Right.
They just have to.
But they have a history of choking.
They have to overcome decades of incompetence and falling below expectation. No, I don't agree with you here. Actually, I'm gonna say I think.
Okay.
I also believe in Tommy Moffitt.
All right. Well, let's get back out there. Give them hell. All right. Play ball. All right. Cool.
Go Aggies.
That's a good one. I like that Texas pick there, Kayce. Yeah,
no, I didn't take Texas. I'm just saying that that's floating around there.
Well, yeah, no. You definitely didn't take Texas. You didn't take them at all.
I didn't. I have Arch Manning at number 3 of my quarterback list.
But you did just have to say him, right?
You asked what was left on the cutting room floor. I'm saying that is floating around. I won't put Illinois there. I'm not taking.
A lot of y'all.
Listen here, okay? Preseason, I saw when you put out your SEC quarterback list. By the way, Marcel Reed not being on that list, bad decision, sir. He should be number 10.
He should be 10, goddammit.
And I said he should at least be 10. I'd put him at maybe listen, maybe I'll put out my list. I said no Marcel Reed slander, and somebody said, well, you tried to convince us the year before and the year before and the year before. And I said, in July, I'm going to convince you that every single quarterback at A&M is going to be good, even if Brandon Walker's taking snaps, just like you will at Mississippi State, just like Ev would at Ohio State.
I would not do that. I would not shoehorn my quarterback.
To be fair, I do
Blake Shapen earned his way onto my list.
I do get sucked into Texas A&M every year. So me defending them even now in the timeout is just par for the course. I think they're finally going to round the corner every single year, and they never do. Did anybody have Iowa on their underhyped teams?
I mentioned them.
Okay, because after meeting...
You looked him in the eye.
Yeah, after meeting Gronowski, their new quarterback, reading a little bit about him, and Dunk, the big tackle, I'm buying heavy stock in Iowa. Kind of forgotten, and they're way too consistent to be...
And they're hiding there behind Indiana and Illinois. And
Illinois, like Washington, USC, like all these
Michigan.
other teams that people are talking about. I'm buying the Hawkeyes.
Big Ev, you would have loved Jennings Dunker. He seemed like
God.
a classic Big Ev guy, just an big offensive tackle. I don't think he has a Twitter. I don't think
he has Twitter.
He just doesn't
know. He doesn't really know anything about anything.
Like he doesn't. I don't think he can name an opponent of.
He knows
Iowa.
they play Iowa State, but he finds out their opponents the day of the game. He literally told us when he's on the field and he lines up, he's figured out his opponent.
He sees the helmet. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't care who he's lining up across from.
Yeah.
He's got an intensity to him
face
too,
mask
man.
in your jaw. Yeah. Honestly, that's another team I think will be better than Indiana. Also, A&M's going to win at least 9 games this year.
Oh, okay, dude.
I mean, that's also not crazy to say.
Yeah, it is.
It's not crazy.
I don't think it's that crazy. I don't think it's crazy.
Listen,
I think they win 9 games.
With all the quarterback drama we had last year, Marcel Reed also getting hurt, we still went 8-4 and almost went to Atlanta.
No, I know, but this is but the problem with the Aggies are it defies logic. Because again, logically, you are correct. Like, as an intellectual human being with a brain, I believe you are correct. I believe Ev's correct. But somehow the gods find a way for you look up and they're just 8-4.
No, I'm aware.
Let me find 9 wins on the schedule real quick. UTSA, that's 1.
Yep.
Utah State, that's 2.
Yep.
At Notre Dame, I'm just going to say toss-up. I'm not going to put it in the win column.
You can't do it.
Bye week. Auburn at home, that's 3. Mississippi State at home, that's 4. Florida at home, toss-up, but I would lean
At
A&M.
home.
I would lean A&M. So I'm at 5. At Arkansas, I'll go 6. At LSU, I'm not giving you that one. At Missouri, I'm not giving you that one off the rip. South Carolina at home, I'm at 7.
I'll go 7.
Samford FCS team, I would pick 8 and 4 just off gut, but
You know
So
what?
you gotta-
and
you
know
gotta
what?
win
so
one of
9
the
wouldn't be
toss-ups.
crazy. No,
That's
Nine-
what I'm saying.
no.
And also, South Carolina, I mean, I know it's at Kyle Field. South Carolina always trips us up too. So, I mean, I understand the trepidation, T-Bob. However, every July, we're going 10-2 this year, okay?
Yeah, look, I get it. I love Tommy Moffitt. Again, best coach I ever had in my entire life. He's a strength coach at A&M now. If anybody's going to get the culture of that program right, it is him.
Love Elko. And Elko we trust. But you know what?
not going
In the off season, everybody gets the hype, and then the season starts and hopes start to die. And that's why you got to use BetterHelp, okay? This is an ad by BetterHelp. Workplace stress, we know that's going on. You laugh, T-Bob, but you know our mental health.
No, I agree. That's why I'm laughing. It's very
It's
accurate for
high.
college football fans.
It is unbelievable that every single year the roller coaster between July and December, January that we all ride. But all jokes aside, whether it's workplace, whether it's relationships, whether you have an actual mental health diagnosis, everyone needs somebody to talk to that's completely unbiased. And we all have stress. Some of us less, some of us more. But most of us can't just wave goodbye to work. We can't wave goodbye to the stress that we have. We just need to work it out. So BetterHelp is the best way to do that because it's therapy, but you don't have to go sit in a doctor's office. You don't have to go search and find somebody. You don't have to pay in-person therapy costs. It's text, it's calls, it's FaceTimes. It's all right there at the tip of your fingers with your phone. Over 30,000 therapists. It's the world's largest online therapy platform. They have 5 million people globally using it. They'll pair you with whoever they think is best fit. If for some reason they aren't your best fit, you can switch therapists completely for free. And the app is great. And that's really important. We know when you have a bad app, you're not going to use the service. The app is phenomenal, has 4.9 out of 5 stars based on over 1.7 million client reviews. So as the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. It's not one size fits all for anything that you're going through, from just needing somebody to talk to about your day-to-day stress all the way up to the most serious mental health diagnosis. BetterHelp is there. Unwind from work with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. BetterHelp.com/Smith. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Smith. All right, boys. Anything else?
Yeah.
Oh,
One last too much hype team because it just needed to be said because by default, North Carolina. By default.
Yeah.
The hype's not about how good they are. The hype's about
Yeah, but it's the hype around the program.
Jordan.
It's just,
Remember,
they're
they
just trying
were-
to replicate the
They,
Dion thing.
they
right
were
now.
also, though, on my should be better than they are list. They have more talent there than what their wins and losses say. I was shocked to learn, 5-year recruiting tale, they're 20th.
Yeah.
I mean, they're top 20 in the entire country, and yet they have not sniffed being a consistent top 20 team.
I would make the argument, Liam, that they're
And
not
Belgium.
overhyped because if you have the best or one of the best, I would say the best NFL coach of all time coaching college, they should have all the hype in the world. If he fails at North Carolina with all this relationship drama he's had, it's an epic downfall for Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I'm more so talking about this from the perspective that we've got the on-campus live shows that ESPN's running out there from game one, the documentaries behind the scenes, all this and that. The hype from that perspective is out of control. That's more so what I'm talking about. And they ain't gonna.
They're
live
being
up to that.
covered a lot. Whether or not
They're
people are saying
being-
they're going to win, they're being covered
Correct.
a
They're
lot.
trying to replicate the Dion thing at Colorado. It's the
Right, like
same. It's the
Colorado.
same formula.
Yes. It's more
But
fascination than hype.
I will
fair.
say though, do you think that it would be more fair for people to pile on North Carolina if they don't win games than at Colorado? Because here's the thing: Dion talked all the shit. Dion didn't win all the Super Bowls that Bill Belichick has won. Now I'm not saying it's fair, but don't you think that will come out real quick? What Bill Belichick can't win in college.
I think that, well, if I understand the question, I think that what Dion has done at Colorado, I think Bill Belichick's taken over an infinitely better situation.
So if he so if it would be fair to also like pile on him the way everybody piled on Dion.
Yes. Oh, and
That's my question.
People are waiting in the wings to pile on Bill Belichick. Let's be painfully clear about that.
It's not going to be hard to find somebody wanting to pile on. Bill
No,
Belichick.
everybody is just waiting to shit on him and yell at him about being distracted, blah, 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 blah. And I cannot wait to see where Jordan is game day.
Yeah.
That is going to be all over the internet game one.
I think she's going to be, you know how a NASCAR crew chief sits up in a tower?
Yep.
Headset on. With the big headset. Yeah. And she's like, Bill, I want you to relax for me, buddy. It's 3rd and 8. We're going to need to make this turn here now.
Do you think there's any world where she's actually on the sidelines with him?
Into the game.
Yes.
Into the game, yes.
Yeah.
Like maybe like
I think
Arthur Blake
we live in the
popped out.
world.
I think in game 1, she will get down there with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. By game 8,
I meant like all game.
by game 8, she's there at halftime.
No way. That's
I think by game 8, she is absolutely coming out of the tunnel, holding his hand at halftime, and just mulls around the fucking sidelines.
That's
I honestly
She's comfy in the suite. She's cozy in a suite somewhere.
I feel like there's some sort of like emotional support. I don't want to say pet, 'cause she's a human, but like
She's handing out
You
orange
said
slate.
it. You can't say I don't want to say
No,
it.
Hey, Bill, I got your eyes up here. I got your eyes. Just watch out, Bill. Watch out on the corners. They're really ganging up on you here, Bill. It's 3rd and 8. Let's go ahead and run the ball now. Up.
Pedro, is it Pedro Pascal, whoever the actor is that like apparently has like the anxiety where he gets to like grope hot women around him.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting that myself.
Yeah, I got that too, Brando.
Like I feel like there's an
Diagnosed
element of
yesterday.
that. You know, it's like Bill might need her with like, you know, if he has to make a decision whether to go for it on 4th or not, like maybe he needs her to like give him a shoulder rub or something. You know, we don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know what goes on behind
exactly.
closed
He's
doors.
just anxious.
He just gets a quick booby honk to decide he wants to go for it or not.
Oh, I feel better now.
Yeah, it's like Mean Girls. She can tell the weather.
Yeah, he's
By
like, I can
right?
tell if I should go for it
He
on
needs to
4th
know.
down.
He needs to know what the correct fourth down decision is.
At this point, with how ridiculous everything has been with them, like nothing is off the table. Like the CBS Morning interview where she like chimes in and the cameras, like it was so bad. I know it sounds crazy. I could see this woman not being next to him on the sideline, not being in the team area. It would just not shock me if she has a sideline pass for the entire game. It wouldn't. It truly wouldn't.
Oh,
But he
college
did like
football.
a PR cleanup interview after that, like with ACC Network to kind of like do like a cleanup of the CBS one or whatever it was.
But as Brandon has said, I'm not going to say it as bluntly as he did, but you know, women and what they offer men
It's
runs
undefeated.
the world. It's undefeated.
Yeah,
What if she says, "Hey, I'm leaving if I don't get a sideline pass"?
I mean, nothing would surprise me.
Nothing's off the table.
Nothing is off the table.
He's just holding it over him the night before the game.
All right. Shut it down,
Comes out
Kayce.
with, like lace panties and is like, well,
Okay. Well, we will be back next week again. The episode will come out Tuesday mornings and Friday mornings until the season. That is Unnecessary Roughness.